that ace was a queen jack.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's still help. Because whether you have ace or whether you have king jack, if partner had a holding like queen third, that would be. In fact, if partner had something like queen third of hearts, king jack would probably actually, in some ways, be better than ace, right? Because theoretically, you'd only have one loser.
Okay, if that was queen jack.
Queen jack? Yeah, I think so, because again, if partner, if
Two losers in clubs.
yeah, but partner is not acting like they are particularly concerned about clubs. You may be concerned about clubs, but
Okay.
I'll give you the 10, if that makes you feel any better. Would you cooperate with the help suit try? I think so, because again, if partner needs help in that suit, yeah, could they be making the try on 3 small? Yeah, it could be. More than likely, partner's got an honor in that suit. So partner may have something like ace third or king third.
Okay, the 2 no trump doesn't mean you have 18, 19, but
No.
should you have 15, 16?
Well, you're definitely better than minimum by virtue of the fact that you are making
Right.
a game try.
Right, okay,
Right.
yeah.
But if you had 15, you'd open one no.
If you were balanced.
Oh.
But at what point has opener promised a balanced hand? Keep in mind on this auction that 2 no is not natural. It is conventional.
Alertable?
Yeah. You should be alerting the 2 no here. Because, and then if somebody, yes, what's the alert? Partner is asking where I have help. It's a pretty straightforward explanation. I kind of like this method, whether I'm doing the short suit part of it on the left or not. I'm actually playing this with a few partners now. Like we're playing help suit tries, but this is how we do our help suit.
Are these partners that are non-life masters?
No.
Good question.
No. Some of these partners
no.
have 7,000 points, actually.
Oh,
so.
okay.
But that's okay. Yeah. Look, there is no required master point threshold to play any convention. You are allowed to play any convention you want. Whether you should or not is another matter.
These are my
But
choices.
you can. Yeah, conventional bids are not privileges. If you want to take them on, you can take them on.
So this help suit convention, what happens if there's interference?
Well, so anytime you get interference, you probably can't do what you want to do. On the other hand, if you were going to get interference, you probably would have gotten it much sooner. It's usually not a very good practice to wait until the opponents are at the 3 level to stick your nose in there. So I think somebody would have made an overcall. And something that I have planned for later in the course, I think more around like week 6, your general, I know we've hit on it kind of maybe as an aside in other discussions, but you've heard us mention the maximal double before. So a lot of times on your auctions where you do get interference, you have to kind of consolidate and just make a more general game try. And a lot of times, if you don't have room to do what you want to do, double ends up being your game try, because we don't really want it for penalty very often. And so, yeah, I think a lot of times you kind of throw a lot of things out the window when you do get interference. Let's see here. I'll figure out what else we want to deal with here. Yeah, so like if you wanted, you could play your help suit tries this way and not even bother with the short suit stuff. And maybe that's a good place to start, only because the short suit game try might be an easy thing to forget. Yeah. Partner comes back and bids 3 diamonds, and you're thinking, oh, it's a help suit try, or oh, it's diamonds, and and then come to find out, oh no, that was a singleton, or the partner actually had diamonds, but then your agreement was a short suit try, so you thought it was shortness, and you made a decision. So,
Okay, wait,
all right.
confusion. If we're playing combination, can the opener do 3 diamonds? And that's strength then, right?
No, then it's shortness.
Shortness.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
short-
so these,
okay,
yeah,
right.
so that's right. These are your two methods. Basically, anytime you want to make a help suit try,
You go through the.
you go through 2-no.
Okay, thank you.
Right. And then if you want to make a short suit try, you can bid it. You bid the suit.
So either of those are alertable.
Yeah. Yeah, they would be alertable. You know, generally, anytime you have a bid that might have some sort of unexpected meaning. So, you know, when we see 2-no, we expect it to be some kind of balanced hand, some kind of natural balanced hand, but it's not necessarily that here. So, and the bid has a specific meaning. So. I think what I want to do to finish out today is, so all of these auctions we've looked at, we had the nice simple beginning of the opening of a 5-card major and a raise. So, and anytime you want to make a game try, theoretically, if you're still at the 2 level, you have room to make a game try. Right, because you have that whole, you have 2-no in that whole 3 level to kind of play around and explore and figure out where you belong. So what that means is that the auction doesn't necessarily have to start off the way all of these auctions we've looked at today. Because you will probably want to have some kind of method for an auction like this. What if I open a heart and you respond, or excuse me, I open a club and you respond to heart, and now as opener, I raise the 2. All right, well, we know what's going on here, right? Responder has at least 4 hearts. Opener should have like 12 to 14, typically 4-card heart support. Although what comes into the equation here, perhaps, is if you would raise on a 3. But I think what we want to know now is, okay, responder, anytime you are invitational, or perhaps better than invitational, how do you proceed? What do your bids mean here? What is 2-no trim? What is a new suit? I would adopt the same philosophy that we had on the other types of openings, where I feel like any new suit or even 2-no, I feel like needs to be a 1-round force. Is everybody comfortable with that? Mm-hmm. Even if it's something like let's say we're bidding 100% naturally, we're not doing anything unusual at all, and you come back 3 clubs. Well, clearly this is some kind of game try, right? If you weren't interested in game, you'd be passing 2 hearts. You'd be as high as you wanted to be. So 3 clubs clearly has to be some kind of game try. And presumably you are just showing a double fit, right? Here, because you have agreed fits in both a major and a minor, I don't think opener can pass 3 clubs. Because you want to be in the major, right? So, you know, absent any other discussion, I would say, I'm making a game try, I'm showing you a double fit, you know, may make opener like their club holding better, knowing that you have something there. And I figure, you know, responder should have probably a good 11 points or so, right, to be making this game try. And then at this stage, probably the decision maker is, opener, are you closer to 12 or are you closer to 14? You know, do you have a min or a max, really? There's probably not a whole lot else to determine at this stage. Probably with most balanced 12 counts, opener's gonna pass. Maybe they have a singleton somewhere. Maybe the opening bidder is not balanced. Maybe they have a singleton somewhere and the hand wasn't good enough to jump raise to 3 hearts. That's a possibility. But you know, the opener could have 12 or 13 and a singleton spade and now feel like the hand is upgraded enough that they do want to accept the game try. Is that how you all would take this now? Just a natural game try.
Yeah.
Now one thing to keep in mind here, while opener is limited in that 12 to 14 range, responder is completely unlimited, right? For all we know, responder is interested in slam. Maybe they're going to game no matter what, and they're just trying to probe and find out a little more about your hand and see if they want to make a slam try. So that is a possibility. So whenever you can, opener, I think that you should cooperate here, and you can do some things that might look kind of unusual, but really make a lot of sense. Like, what if the auction were to proceed with that? That's 3 diamonds.
Shortness.
I would think it would be more likely to be something actual honor, like what if not, I mean, it could look like a cubit. I mean, it could just be the ace of diamonds. It could be a concentration of values. Maybe you have king, queen of diamonds. I think it's just kind of, partner, this is where I live. This is where I have some stuff that is yet undiscussed.
Could it be a stopper in search of no trump?
It could be part of a probe for no trump. I'll tell you this, if partner bid 3 no next, I would probably pass, in spite of having found the heart fit. Because 3 diamonds may be, I mean, look, what if partner is pretty balanced? What if partner is, what if partner has, say, 4 hearts and 4 clubs, maybe something like small doubleton or jack doubleton of diamonds, and a couple of spade cards, where 3 no might look really attractive so long as you're not wide open in diamonds. Well, in that case, 3 diamonds would be a nice informative bid, right?
So how do you tell that the 3 clubs is not a cubit?
So the thinking is the reason that and on an auction like this, and this is something else that Kit Woolsey talks about, and it's something that I actually, if I get to that class on the language of bridge, it's something that I intend to spend a fair amount of time on. The general thinking, and I think we have brought this up, the fairly self-explanatory game versus slam principle. Has anybody heard this? I feel like I've mentioned it at some point, but it may have just been in passing. So the general thinking is that while a slam try could be going on here, this could be the beginnings of a slam try, most of your bidding, not all of it, but most of your bidding below the game level revolves around finding the best game. And you may look at an auction like this and say, well, we found a heart fit. Don't we know what the best game is? Well, yes and no. Just because you found the heart fit does not mean that 3 no is out of the picture, right? And so while 3 diamonds or 3 clubs or 3 diamonds could conceivably be a control, like an ace or a king or something like that, that might be interpreted as a Q bid, I think you want to look at it as more just a kind of a general, this is where I live, this is where I have a card or some cards, multiple honors, probably not shortness, probably strength, not shortness. Because since we have not arrived at game yet, we're still searching for the best game. On this particular auction, and it may not be your style, but there is something in play here, and I don't know that we'll really have time to get into it today, but maybe we will get back to it. The very bottom of that handout, the so-called spiral game try, where that tends to come into play is, would your partnership, would the opening bidder make that bid with at least some frequency with only 3-card support for the major?
Should we? We don't. Should we?
We need to decide that, don't we?
What if Kurt says yes?
Okay. Everybody would open this hand 1 club, right? good minimum, I would say, only 12 points, but ace and kings and 5-card suit, pretty normal. All right, you open a club, partner bids a heart. What is your response? You have choices. It's not automatic. Theoretically, your bid is 1 no, right? Because you have a minimum balanced hand. I don't have a problem with 1 no. At the same time, I understand if you don't want to bid 1 no. I actually would not bid 1 no. Why don't I like 1 no? Worthless doubleton in the unbid major, and the defense may be inclined to attack that if we play no trump. Now, partner may have something in spades, right? Partner may not be concerned. In that case, we might have the no trump playing from the wrong side, which would, may or may not matter. Partner has ace king of spades, it doesn't matter. If partner has ace queen or king jack or some broken holding where they might be leading a spade through that, that could be concerning. And if we play no trump, maybe we'd want to see if partner can play it. All right. Well, I will tell you that what I do in a lot of my regular partnerships is I raise on that 3-card hard hold with this hand. By the way, with this hand, you really have 3 possible rebids. None are perfect, right? Well, they're out of order, but.
Right.
So you rebid a no trump, which has the value of telling partner you're balanced, but on the other hand, there is a suit where you are wide open that you might be concerned about. You do what we talk about, you could raise on 3 hearts, but partner normally expects you to have 4, because responder has only promised 4, right? I actually think this is every bit as bad as bidding 1 no on the small doubleton. 2 clubs needs to be a 6-card suit. I don't like it at all on a 5-card suit. It's not to say that you wouldn't be stuck doing that on a rare occasion. Okay, all of these rebids are flawed, right? But you knew that when you opened the hand, right? When you picked up the hand, you realized, I might have a rebid problem. You'd feel better about 1 no if partner responded a spade, wouldn't you? All right, so all of your rebids are flawed. I happen to think 2 hearts is the least flawed of the 3, but that is because I also have methods in my partnerships where the responder, when they start making a game try, can actually find out whether or not it's a 3-card raise or a 4-card raise.
Because when I have that hand as an opener and rebid 1 no, I'm hoping my partner does new minor forcing to tell me she has 5. He
Yes.
has 5.
The key word, hope. Right?
Yeah, hope.
You know,
Hope is not a strategy.
when the Broncos hired Vance Joseph, they hoped that things would work out very well, right? As we say, hope is not the world's best strategy.
But it's a convention we use.
Yes, but you don't know that partner is going to use it or be able to use it.
Oh, no.
So yeah, Diane, did you?
When you choose to support with 3 cards, does the quality of the suit get involved?
Not necessarily. I like the reason I kind of like the raise with this sort of holding is like ace and a couple little ones. Is that if partner needs to try and rough a spade in the dummy, for example, we'd ideally like to be roughing with a little one rather than with a big one. What if you, that's not to say that if my hearts were king, queen, 10 that I might not consider a raise on 3, but if you had to rough spades with your honors, with your trump honors, that may not be as attractive. So that's the only area where.
So you'd be less likely if you had ace, king, queen. Is that what you're saying? You'd be less likely?
You know, if I had ace, king, queen of hearts, I don't know. I don't know that I want to be roughing with this. Then again, if I have ace, king, queen of hearts, partner's points are clearly not in hearts, right? They're somewhere else.
Yeah.
So maybe that increases the likelihood that partner has a spade card and that no trump would be a little less scary. Again, these are all judgment calls that you have to make. And you're not always gonna look. I had a hand that I played here not too long ago, just within the past few weeks, where I was 4-3-3. And I had something like that. Partner bid a major, and I had something like ace third. And I gave fleeting thought to raising, and I think I know I was wide open. I know one of my 3-card suits was 3 little. And then another one may have been not the greatest holding, maybe like jack third or something like that. And I thought for a moment, I'm like, should I raise on 3? And then I changed my mind. And I was like, no, I'm just gonna make the normal bit of a no trump because I'm flat. The hand has no roughing value. And then as the hand played out, it might have worked out a little better to actually raise on 3. But, that was because the companion hand had a problem in one of those suits. So, normally if the hand doesn't look like it's going to have any roughing value, now we can change this. I think we can actually make the 3-card raise even more attractive. What if that's the hand? Now responding a no trump is really unattractive, right? Because you have a singleton in an unbid suit. It's not even a suit that partner is known to have anything in. Well, what do you do with this hand? You may not have even opened the hand of club because of the rebid problem. Some people would open a diamond having to rebid 2 clubs, which is also imperfect, right? These are all problems. But having whatever minor you opened with this hand, if partner responded a heart, I think it would be reasonable to raise on 3 with a singleton. Now I think you really like it as a roughing value. So what ends up happening, and I think we're getting pretty close. So if you get into this, and again, we can revisit it down the road if you want. The spiral game try, what ends up happening with that is that 2-no once again becomes kind of an artificial type of thing. And it's an asking bid. And it says, okay, partner, you have 4 possible responses. Tell me about your hearts, and tell me about whether you are a min or a max. We know you have a minimum opening, right? We know you're in that 12 to 14 range. Or as Joanne told me on the break, she says that y'all are opening some more 11 counts these days, which that's fine. Some 11 counts are definitely worth opening. And the lighter that you would be inclined to open, the more useful gadgets like these become. So what we end up with here is a scale of responses. And all of these 4 responses to 2-no are artificial. They say nothing about the suits.
2-no is artificial as well.
Yeah. So yeah, 2-no may or may not be balanced. But 2-no is the asking bid.
And it's alertable as
And
responding.
it would be alertable. Opener would alert 2-no. And then responder would alert the response.
Wow.
And this is what it looks like. Oh. Oh my, we got an oh my. All right. So if your response is 3 clubs, you're saying, partner, I have a minimum and I raised you on 3 hearts. Now remember, keep in mind that while responder has only promised 4, they may always be planning on playing in hearts, right? They might have 5 or more. And they just want to know more about your hand. That's another nice thing. Sometimes you fall into the best contract when you raise on 3, even if partner can't bid again.